again. Today I'm going to do another What the Hell Is This? It's going to be a double bill, but a double bill separated by about 40 years of filmmaking. And they're both made by the same studio 40 years apart, and they're both science fiction movies with a depressing subject matter. They both bombed horribly, and that's the connection. But one's a really good film and one's not so good. Alright, so I'm going to talk about Damnation Alley and Ad Astra. Now, Damnation Alley is the not so good one. Damnation Alley is most famous for being the film that was meant to be Star Wars by 20th Century Fox. 20th Century Fox made two films from 1977 that they hoped would do well. One was Star Wars, which was this weird film made by George Lucas. They weren't quite sure what it was. It just had a big head of American graffiti. But they couldn't understand this film, Star Wars. What the hell was it? They didn't get it, but they were having to put money into it, and it was driving the studio nuts. And they didn't have a clue. The other film, that's why Lucas got away with so much with his deal with Fox. They did not know what the hell it was, and they did not see it working at all. I mean, they thought it was going to be one of those disastrous follow-ups that a director has. They don't think they saw it as anything that was going to work. It was like, to get into business with George Lucas had to make this film. So they let him have whatever he wanted, because it was like, they didn't expect anything. Because it looked so insane. But it did Damnation Alley at the same time, and Damnation Alley was much more up the street. This was kind of a lot more like the Planet of the Apes movies, and they did the Planet of the Apes movies from the late 60s into the early 70s. They all made money. Other Charlton Heston movies made money, like Solving Green and The Omega Man. And other films were at the time were the depressing, dystopian sci-fi movies were all making money. Not a ton of money, but enough. They were always covering their costs and making a lot of profit. It was like, it just seemed, they were in the middle of the Nixon era, or just passed by it, where everyone was cynical, the world was falling apart, and they were still in that train of thought, like everything's going to hell, so make depressing movies. And Damnation Alley was based on a novella by Roger Zelazny, and it was a sci-fi movie about the end of the world. Nuclear bombs are going off, and they're trying to get from one part of the country to the other in this basic tank, and dealing with mutations along the way, which are like giant ants, or giant scorpions, killer ants, human beings who are going crazy. Now, it was based on a novella that was much more fantastical, and the novella was based about a psychopath who had to drive the truck with the cure for something over through Damnation Alley. In the film, all that gets chucked away. Basically, the whole plot's gone. It's really like some army guys in a nuclear bunker. When the nuclear war goes off, they're left there, and they was like, well, what do we do now? The bombs have gone off. And the character who was a psychopath in the novella becomes this army guy who's a bit crazy, but he likes riding bikes. That's it. Played by Jan Michael Vincent. Josh Peppard plays the main guy, the guy who builds the tank, and basically when the base blows up due to incompetence, they take off in the tank. There's two of them, but soon one of them gets destroyed, and the other one are all stuck in. There's the three characters stuck in this tank as they move through the country, try to get to Albany, because they apparently, Peppard thinks there might be life in Albany because some weird thing with some signals that there is some signals coming from there, even though it's just repeating, but he thinks there might be that's the only place he thinks there might be some life still. So they decide to go there because why not, because they've nowhere else to go. And as they go along, they find other humans. They find a boy, and they find his woman. They find the woman first in Las Vegas, and they find a boy later on. One of the people gets killed, played by Paul Winfield, who plays a guy who was a guy in the army, but he was really an artist. So as soon as the war ended, he just started to become a painter. Just what the hell, why not? And basically they're going through the countryside in this tank and trying to keep it running and trying to get to Albany, and that's the plot. And it's basically episodic stories as they meet people along the way, either psychopaths, killer ants, you know, that thing. The problem with the film really is it's stupid. You know, that's the big problem. It's got this serious tone, but it's really stupid because the plot doesn't quite make sense. It's like all the nuclear weapons went off, but there's still people on the surface who survive. And survive in a way that doesn't feel like a nuclear holocaust. They seem to be an escape from an adventure in a Disney Channel film. They don't seem to, it doesn't feel depressing the way that people would be depressed. It's not Terminator where the future looks horrible. It's not anything else, it's just, this is depressing, but let's not make it too depressing because it's for the family. We'll be a family film, so let's not go too far. We won't show anything horrible. So it takes the guts out of the story to start with. So you start with a psychopath, and now the psychopath's just a happy-go-lucky biker who smells a lot. You're George Papard playing the hard ass who softens dealing with kids and women. And it's just stupid because it gets to Albany in the end. After the world has sorted itself out for some reason the world is not off its own access, and the planets, the skies are all weird. And they're using really old-fashioned 70s effects. And then it sorts itself out at the end during this big sequence where there's landslides and everything else. And they survive that. And then you get in Albany, and Albany's like a picturesque place where everyone's happy. And it's like, how could this survive in nuclear winter? There's no way this would work. You know, and it's like, this is stupid. But it's been stupid all the way through the film, so at that point it's no less stupid than anything else. The whole film just feels like every bad decision was made. The weird thing is Alan Sharp, who wrote Rosanna's Raid and a bunch of other good films, was one of the writers on it, but according to the extras, when he interviewed with him, and he pretty much says, it was a job. It was like, they asked me to rewrite that stuff and add some characters to it and make the characters work because it was just a set up to something. They did all the sequences, but didn't have any character interaction, so he just wrote that. And it was just a job, but it was fine, and it's probably one of the lower halves of my CV. You know, it was just like, it was a disaster. The actors are fine. All the actors are doing their best with the material. No one's rising above anything, but you get two actors, Jan Michael Vincent and George Papard, two well-known alcoholics. so I'm sure there was some drinking involved in that film. But they're doing their best with what they've got. Paul Winfield's fun as the guy who was a military guy who turned an artist. Is the character stuff's enjoyable, and the world's enjoyable in that 70s way, the same way that Planet of the Apes movies, especially Beneath the Planet of the Apes, where it was really cheesy but strangely enjoyable, where they did all those mutants and things. It's got that same feel to it. It's like, you can't take it seriously as the thing it's trying to be, but it's got that cheesy charm to it. Like, it's moronic. It's like all these characters should be dead. Everyone they meet in the way would be dead within about a day if they were taken seriously. Instead they survive somehow just to serve the plot. But they'd be dead. The only characters who might actually live through it would be the two main characters because they were underground when it happened. Everyone else on the surface, they would be dead. There's a person who was stuck in a vault in Las Vegas. Well, where was all the food? How would she survive for months on end before they got there? There's a kid who survived in scraps, and it doesn't really feel right. It's one of those cheese fests that's so enjoyable. It's one of those films where you can watch with a smile on your face how stupid it is, and how dumb it is, and it really deserved to bomb. I mean, it really was not good. Some of the effects are shocking. Some of the effects are just all model. It looks like Doctor Who in the 70s, but Doctor Who would cover better. You know, some of the effects are like that. I mean, there's the skies are done with these weird effects, trying to make the sky look weird. Kind of like a Doctor Who from the 70s, but again, Doctor Who had no money, and this film had money. And it's like, and why was Doctor Who in the 70s much more effective and charming? Because they knew what they were, and this film doesn't. It's like, it's what happens with a studio has lots of money, but no one's actually directing it, and it's just like, you don't have a director who has a passion for this project. And Jack Smite directed it, and he directed Midway just before that. And an airport film. You know, he made trash, you know. And this was trash. This is enjoyable trash. This is a lot more fun than it deserves to be. A lot more fun than its reputation suggests. But it's really stupid. I mean, really, really stupid. It was also the end of the road for this kind of movie. The failure of this one was an expensive flop, mixed with the success of Star Wars, which cost about the same. I think Star Wars cost a little bit more, and Star Wars looked 100 times better. You know, they used their money well, and this film didn't. This film didn't have a clue what they were doing, and Star Wars built equipment to make sure that what they wanted to do looked right. There was a big difference, and also Star Wars actually has a plot that actually wasn't really stupid. And Star Wars just took it over, and Star Wars was optimistic, and that was what the film people wanted at the time. And the film people actually understood that this was the future, the depressing stuff was past. So everything changed with Star Wars, because the audience wanted Star Wars. Now you go forward to the 2010s, and Ad Astra comes out just after Disney has bought Fox. So this is a film that was made from Fox, but at the time it was released, Disney owned Fox. So it's put out professionally, but with absolutely awful trailers. The trailers didn't explain what the hell the film was. I think because when you see the film you realise this is a depressing film set in space where not much happens, and it's a mood piece. And it's completely alien to anything else that's going on in cinema just now for, you know, mainstream films. It's not Star Wars, but it's a whole lot better than Rise of Skywalker. It's not a Marvel film. It's a depressing film where Brad Pitt tries to find his dad and tries to find a way out of his own depression. That's what it is. I mean, Brad Pitt plays this guy. It's one of his better performances actually, because he's playing a guy. Brad Pitt's one of those actors who depends how he's directed. Some films he's good, some films he's not so good. I think a lot of the time it's the direction. Like, if the director sort of sits around him and actually collaborates with him and they do something good. But other times it can be all over the place if a director doesn't know how to deal with him. And this one, he's got a director who understands how to deal with him and understands when to lighten it up a little bit and when not to, and things like that. And it just seems to work. He seems to understand the character, and it really works. And because a lot of time he plays depressing characters and he doesn't really have a link in it. He just looks morose and just sits there for 2 hours. Here he acts and reacts to people in an interesting way. But he plays a character whose father was a famous astronaut. He's kind of the legacy. He's the guy who isn't quite his father, but is respected by everybody. Everyone knows he's good at what he does. He goes up and down into space. He works on the different space things, space objects. He goes to the moon when he needs to. He's a good pair of hands, basically. But he doesn't really have a family. He's a wife whose marriage is 40 bits. He finds it hard to communicate. You know, he just cannot connect with people. And he feels he's in a job he doesn't really have any emotion for anymore, and it's just a person trying to work out where he wants to be in life. Then a signal comes to Earth and actually causes havoc, and it's this wave of energy that's causing this havoc. And it's continuing every so often. It's coming from a place outside of Neptune, where his father was lost 20 odd years ago, 25 years ago. And so they want him to actually communicate, go to the moon and then to Mars to communicate with his father, to try and get his father. They think his father's alive, they're trying to get his father, they think his father's attacking the Earth, and they want to try and get him to stop. Because they think his dad's gone mad. And so you see him travelling to the moon, then to Mars. And as he travels, you have things happening, like when they get, because it's a top secret mission, they don't want to admit that this wave could be caused by a big hero, the guy who did all these amazing stuff in his youth. Tell the world this guy's dead. They don't ever want to admit that he might not be dead. So they just want him to go to Mars to try and communicate, and that's it. So on the way to Mars, he has to go from one base to another just to keep it top secret. But getting from one base to another is difficult because there's lots of outposts that no longer work with the Earth. government who are like basically pirates. So you have space pirates. But it works really well because they set it up as the government's dysfunctional in a way that governments are. Like, things have happened, they're not going to explain what's happened, but there's enough dirt on everybody that people could have just created their own factions and said, we're not dealing with these people anymore. That's just the way it is. And of course they're going to attack anybody trying to go through their territory. So you have an exciting moment where you have to go through this territory and escape these space pirates. And there's also a nice moment where they have to go through they're going from Earth to Mars, and they have to stop off and find this space station that's lost all communication. So, I mean, you might understand this story very much as Heart of Darkness in space. That's what it is. I mean, and that's why they had problems selling it, because they didn't have any of the exciting stuff like Apocalypse Now had. They've just got a couple of small moments like space pirates, this space station. That's all they've got for action. And these two action scenes don't take long. They're fun, but they don't take very long. They crew this space station, find out that they've been using this station for strange experiments. Like stuff they couldn't do enough, so they're doing it in space, outside of all the kind of lanes of travel to try and, so they don't ever get caught doing it. So they deal with that, and then they get to Mars, where Brad Pitt does his little speech thing to send his dad, and then he's told to get lost. Basically, they don't want him anymore. That's it. That's all they needed him for. At this point, he's obsessed enough to actually want to go and find out what happened to his father, and the final. So you have to have him making an escape from where he is, because he's going to get sent home. And because everyone thinks he's a good soldier, so they don't expect anything. They expect him to do what he's told. Instead, he rebels, gets onto this spaceship that's going to go to find his father, and he tries to pretty much deal with the people on board, because the people on board this rocket were the people who he travelled with to Mars. But of course, they have to fight him, and ends up having to kill them all, which creates a lot of, guilt for him. So all these things could be just throwaway, but they all add up because they're all given a place. Like even the bit where they go to the science place and outside of the travel lanes, it's got a great atmosphere to it, and it's just a sense of humanity's kind of. They've released great inspirations of where they want to go in space, but they're still stuck with their own paranoias, their own greed, their own ambitions, and it's just spread to the stars basically. Everything's just a bit tougher to do on Earth and in space now, but they just adapt. But they've still got the greed, they've still got the paranoia, they've still got the government conspiracy theories. And finally, I'm going to spoilers here because you can stop now if you don't want spoilers. But basically, he finds his dad because it's Heart of Darkness, and his dad's mad. His dad's gone crazy. But his dad's obsessed by alien life. His dad wants to find alien life. He wants to find, because he's so disgusted with the world, he figures there has to be something else out there. It can't just be us. And so he's running this experiment. They actually bringing in lots of coded information that can be created to create images of different planets. And he's found nothing for 20 years. He's found nothing. And the people he was with try to rebel, we end up killing them. He just went completely mad. And the thing that's going to Earth is just basically he's not trying to attack the Earth. It's basically something's going wrong in the station, and they can't stop it unless they blow up the station. That's it. And so basically, Brad Pitt finds a father who is just as depressed as he is. He has not found any sign of alien life. And he's just depressed with the thought of human beings, and he can't stand human beings. He doesn't even like his son that much. Which Brad Pitt says, yeah, I know. It's like, he doesn't like people. I know. But just by seeing that and re-engaging, the Brad Pitt character actually kind of finds a way to re-engage with people and find a sort of purpose for himself by just travelling to try and reconnect with his father. Even though he fails, his father dies ultimately. But he stops the thing and he ends up going back home. I'm sure he's lost his job at this point. Who knows what happens. But it's a really good film, but it's a really quiet film. It's all about people's emotions and the damage done to you that's under the surface. It's like the wounds you pick up that you don't talk about, that you can't talk about, that no one's interested in talking to you about. That's the problem. And they go through all these side tests to see if they're okay to go into space, but they're always asking for the stuff that's about any obvious signs of insanity or any obvious signs of not being competent. It's not about the things that are dragging you down to depression. So it's a film about just living your life, basically, but it's set in space. And that's what makes it engaging, is like, there's like human emotions with this backdrop of something that's a bigger scale you get normally, but they use space as a metaphor for travelling into your own problems. Which to me worked. I mean, a lot of critics liked it, some didn't, some thought it was just a bit too self-serious. So you might like it, you might not. I thought it was great, but it's a dead end, I think, to the film industry. So this is what you don't do. To me, this was something I'd like to see more of, but I think it's a dead end. And that's why I'm comparing it to Damnation Alley, but it's also a film that feels like a dead end of a type of movie that wasn't going to get made anymore. When that kind of movie got made, it was going to be made as Mad Max. And it's going to be a lot better, a lot more interesting. But it was going to be a spectacular film. And now we're going to spectacular films, sci-fi films that don't have much thought and not much character, and it's kind of depressing. It's just like, this kind of film is not getting made. This was like a little attempt because they're a big star doing it, but it failed, and they're not going to do this again for a good decade, and then it'll be Solaris, and I'll still film like the Solaris or this that will fail, and another decade will pass. You know, just the way it goes. I mean, this is the way the film industry goes. But and it is a what the hell is this, because it's like, what did they think was going to happen? It was obvious when they were selling it as in the trailer. They didn't have a clue what it was. Or they would have tried to hide what it was. And it was, and I think when people saw it, it was like, what the hell is this? This is not what you advertised the film to be. And it's wonderful, but it is depressing, and it is just weird. So I hope you enjoyed this video, or this what the hell is this video. Damnation Alley is a really what the hell is this, because it does everything wrong, but it's enjoyable as hell. And Astra's what the hell is this? It did everything right, but it wasn't right in the way that the industry was going in, or the audience was really going in. So I'm trying to expand the idea of what the hell is this as a series through these two videos. But I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back soon with another video and another what the hell is this. Right, bye for now.